The Whiskey Throttle Show, now available on the Spot Network, an independent, standalone streaming platform, live now on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Google Play, Android TV, most smart TVs, and all phones and tablets. Look for future live shows and specials only available on Spot Network. Download the app today on your favorite device.
I want to circle back. So we missed the Dogger story. And I always wanted to hear the details. And again, as a manager, what a nightmare, right? When you guys go over to Japan, 85, was it David, Johnny, and Ronnie?
Yep. Yeah, I believe so.
And you were going to do a Supercross, maybe Osaka. I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was a GP.
Was that what it was?
Or Japan Grand Prix.
I think you're right. I think it was at I think it was Suzuka Circuit.
Yeah.
And it was a GP.
And so what happened? Ronnie gets caught at the security with some weed in his bag.
Well, he was ahead of his time because now is But no, I'm not bagging on him.
His record
I'm
should
sensitive.
be expunged.
But we actually, I think myself and some of the mechanics, we had to go there early and meet about next year's bike because the GP is after our series were all over. It was later in the year.
Okay.
And but in any case, we were working in the factory, and then I think the riders came in. Let's say it was like a Thursday or something. There was a race on the weekend, and I don't know who I heard from. I mean, I was working at HRC, and I think I heard that they had problems at the airport. I don't remember who notified me, but then, and as it was explained to me later, I guess Ronnie got caught with something in his backpack supposed to help him with jet lag, and then David and Johnny had already gone through like passport control, or even checking baggage and everything.
They couldn't go in reverse and get back to him, right? Yeah.
Well, no, they were already out, and then with Ronnie, the lights went off. They thought they found something, so they drugged those two guys back in, and then they took them in little rooms and started searching every little cavity they could find, which was very embarrassing and uncomfortable for especially the two guys.
Except Johnny.
Except Johnny.
He got a kick out of it.
Which is it's a big deal in Japan. It's a big deal in general at the time, but in Japan, Paul McCartney, there's other people who've gotten in trouble over there if they went over there to perform, and so they don't take lightly to, that type of paraphernalia. So I was instructed, well, first of all, I had to get in a car with the head officer of HRC, this guy, I'll think of his name in a minute. But in any case, we had to drive out to the airport, which is not very close to where we're at. And then with the traffic in Tokyo, took forever. Super uncomfortable. Like, what do you talk about? And
you're an American rider.
Yeah, I think I tried to make light conversation, like, it's a bad deal, but I can see, he's young and he's in high school, and I can see, getting caught up or doing this or that, and the guy reamed me. And he's like, you guys are just idiots, to think that this is even okay. Things like this, you guys are compromising your brain cells or whatever. I don't know the terminology used, but he thought even me trying to make an excuse for it was not in good taste.
Unacceptable.
No.
Wow.
Ouch.
So you were getting read the riot act.
And I think Honda had to, they actually, they had to take custody of Ron. I mean, he was obviously in the police legal custody. So I think for the evening they had to take custody, however that works. I'm not sure how a corporation does that, or even an officer of the corporation. So then I was informed, by the time they talked to American Honda, I was supposed to go to his hotel room and fire him, which he didn't care as much about, as I think he'd already had a deal worked out with Roy Turner at Kawasaki by that time anyway for the following year. But we had to call his dad, and that he was worried to do. So we called his dad, and Dick, I think is his name, Dick Lechien, and I had to inform him.
How did that go?
He was quiet. It was a lot of silence on the phone. So
yeah, Dick was.
Those are those awkward things as a manager you have to do that are just like.
Yeah, I told Ronnie, first of all, I got to let you go. Yeah, whatever, And then second of all, I go, and Ronnie just wanted to race. He just thought, and that was kind of the mentality of the whole race team. As the race team slowly got, probably more integrated into the corporation, which sort of happens, Mm-hmm. At first we were just win and develop stuff and win race. Everything's going to be okay. I mean, you're a bit of an outlaw from the way corporates usually work. And then, over time, the bottom line is, you're kind of an extension of a marketing group or an image they're trying to create. So expectations are slightly different, or you're a little bit more in public,
Sure.
But anyway.
But with Ronnie, there were some great stories about testing. Johnny and David would tell me. So they'd have the outdoor track, and up and down this hill, and there was like always right in front of the box fans where we parked, there was that kind of dip.
Yeah.
And Ronnie went over during lunchtime and took a shovel and made like a little jump on the far side, so you didn't have to brake and go down through go down through this wash and then into the left turn and up the hill. He came down, he would just jump in, and all of a sudden Ronnie's a second and a half faster than everybody on the course, and didn't tell anybody that basically he's riding a different course, but Ronnie was that guy. Like, I remember screaming at him. He couldn't go on the other side of the gate, and so he walk over his gate and he started walking down to the first turn, dragging his 2 feet. And I'm going, get him the fuck out of here, and he's going, and he'd be jumping up, and I was like, what are you talking
man?
about?
What
do you mean? He looks like a damn penguin patting his thing. I'm like, ugh. But that was Ronnie. That's what made Dogger the Dogger. I mean, he would look for any advantage that he could find.
Yeah.
How was he testing with? Like, did he have a good? I mean, kind of a little bit more of the get it close and I'll ride it, or was he more technical?
I don't remember Ronnie being that detailed. I think he's just naturally talented. I mean, he had a loose, but the guy, you watch him on a 500. The day actually he got hurt, he was riding for Kawasaki, the team he ultimately saw. And you watch the guy on a 500, he was just loose and flowed, and how he even crashed, I have no idea, because he was so damn smooth, I mean, at speed. Yeah. So, I don't know, I always thought of Ronnie as being just naturally gifted, kind of like a Marty Smith on...
Marty Tripes.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know. He was that critical about the bike. I don't remember him. Yeah, this thing's rad. It looks cool.
Sounds so bitchin'. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you have any other good Dogger stories? Anything that stands out from your time with him?
I didn't end up in a canal like the next manager did with him on the way to Binghamton, or was that Unadilla? No, Binghamton. I
didn't hear about that.
I don't know. It was a rent-a-car story.
A rent-a-car crash. Don't choke.
On the way to a track, kind of foggy, upside down in the canal or something like that. But you'd have to ask Turner. Or
Not the first time that's happened with our
No.
crowd. I love Ronnie, and I know he gets a little embarrassed talking about some of those stories and the things that happened.
Yeah.
Like, his story's great, like that made him who he is. He's legendary because of the way he was.
Yep.
And maybe he regrets some of the decisions, but man, at this point it's like, embrace it, man. That stuff was...
Again, back to, I think factories were super paranoid that some, child prodigy was going to come up and just dominate, because they did, you had a Smitty do it, and they had a Hannah do it, and you had a Barnett do it, and you had you had a Hannah and Glover, and, you had Ricky, and everybody was just constantly looking for who's going to trip them up for the next 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So,
well, he was that guy.
And he was the guy potentially that,
Tripes was young, but then didn't Ronnie win in San Diego maybe as a 16-year-old?
16. Those, they had a race in San Diego at the end of the year. I know he won because I got second to him again.
And he was on a practice bike. So there was a story to that, wasn't there?
No, they bought a bike from Lucky Yamaha, and then Bevo put some suspension on it. But we were riding production bikes anyway, so it's like our factory bike was a 1983 production bike anyways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, anyway, I love those stories of him.
Thanks for watching the Whiskey Throttle Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell to get alerts for all the latest content. Follow us on Twitter at W_Throttle_Show and on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Whiskey Throttle Show.